This next video is on using trigonometry to work out missing angles as opposed to working out missing sides, so missing angles. So in the previous videos, what we've had is we've worked out the value of x. The way we've worked out the value of x is if we came across two cases. If x is on the bottom, what we would do is substitute the value of x and cos 32 and interchange them. And that would result in x equals 52 over cos 32 if x was on the bottom. Likewise, if x was on the top, we worked out on the previous video that all we would need to do is just move that over to the side there and go 67 times. So that would be 67 times sine 40. But what happens in a case where we actually want to work out the value of theta? Okay, and we don't have an x on this side. So you can see that this is what we're going to be doing in this video. So again, if we're going to be tackling the steps in this video, all we need to do is just follow those 5 steps that I gave you in the start of the previous videos. So first step is draw the triangle. We've done that. Label H, O and A. So again, we've got our reference angle right here. We can still label it despite the fact that we don't have a value for it. So this is going to be the opposite, this will be the adjacent, and this will be the hypotenuse. So which ratio do we use? Which one is the blank one? Well, the blank one is H, so I'm going to cross that out. So if we've got O and A, we'll refer back to our ratios again. We have to use TOA, so that means we use the formula tan theta equals O over A. Next step, substitute the values in. So what we would get is tan theta equals 55 over 40. Now, at this step, in the previous videos, you would have worked out that, okay, there's an x on this side, I must be doing something here. However, in this video, you'll see the theta is right here, and that's what we're trying to work out, the value of theta. So we want to get something that says theta equals something. So we need to have a look at first, what is affecting that theta? The tan ratio is affecting this theta. So the opposite of tan, or the inverse operation of tan, is actually tan to the power of minus 1. So what we would do is we would say theta equals tan minus 1, 55 over 40. Now, depending if you have a CAS or if you have a scientific calculator, this function right here is found if you just press Shift 10, generally found that way. And the value you should get for this is theta is equal to 53.97 degrees. Alright, let's look at the next question. So once again, let's do exactly the same steps that we've been doing in the previous questions. That's your reference angle. Let's label H, O and A. So this will be H, O, and this will be A. Now, which ratio do we use? Let's cross out the blank one. So we cross out A, so we've got O and H. So in this case, we will have SO. So the formula for SO is sine theta equals O over H. Let's substitute the values in. Sine theta equals 50 over 80. And the opposite for sine is sine minus 1. So what we would end up having is theta equals sine minus 1, which you find just by clicking Shift Sine on your scientific calculator, 50 over 80. And the value for theta you should get for this is 38.68 degrees. So the only thing that we need to consider is this sine minus 1 in this last step here. Now, what I would like you to do is to pause the video right here, and I'd like you to try do this particular question on your own first, then unpause when you have come up with an answer. Okay, now that you've had a shot at this, our reference angle is there. This will be our opposite, this will be our hypotenuse, and this will be our adjacent. So let's cross out the ones that we don't need. So we've got A and H. So if you remember A and H, that will fall under K. So in this case, our formula is cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. If we substitute our values in, we get cos theta equals 20 over 38. And the opposite of cos, you can probably guess, is cos minus 1. 20 over 38. So if we plug that into our calculator, 20 divided by 38 is equal to, degrees is equal to 58.24 degrees. Alright, so that ties up the lesson on working out missing angles. So if we just want to recap this, remember the opposite of cos, the inverse operation is cos minus 1. The inverse operation for tan is tan minus 1, and the inverse operation for sine is sine minus 1.